Hello guys, it is Dr. Professor Esprit, and we're going over the have fun category of my build. And all these items are optional. It's situational items, but I didn't feel like using the word situational because it seems overused and lame. So right off the bat we have the Blink Dagger, and if you're bad with initiation, by all means get the Blink Dagger, because the Blink Dagger is the ultimate initiation item. Let me see, yeah, here we go. I don't care about the boots, I'll just run around. Blink Dagger is super useful because just anything can be done with a Blink Dagger that you can do with a rolling. Now, if you're not too comfortable with rolling around or rolling in to initiate or something like that, and you're not quite there, you can use Blink Dagger. Like, instead of, well, say, okay, I just put a remnant there. Let me try to, actually I'll put one in there. There we go. Say that remnant is the dude I'm trying to gank, and I roll over, explode on him, and then punch him back. Well, the same thing can be done with a Blink Dagger, except you keep your roll, and you can just do it like 3, 2, 1, punch in, roll away real fast, or punch in, or blink in, drop your magnetize, maybe stun silence, and then just roll away real fast and just mess people up. And then when you roll away, you can keep in a distance to drop remnants, or just punch or save your punch, so that after you blink in and you magnetize and you roll away, you can drop a remnant and go and refresh it on them, because remnants travel ridiculous distances. And that's the perks of the Blink Dagger. There are a ton more things you can do with it that I don't feel like going over. It makes like placing wards on high ground really easy, stuff like that. Also, if you can get a creep over here, do it, because you can just pull a creep up these rocks, and that gives you permanent vision up here pretty much the whole game, because nobody feels like nobody will feel like killing it because it's so high up, and they probably won't even notice. Another spot you can do that is right over here. That's a really useful spot for it. I like putting creeps up on top of these instead of having observer wars there, because it's like faster and easier. And if you just happen to have like a creep chase a dude down there, or somebody with a helmet of the Dominator, tell them to put a creep here and just pull them up. Same thing obviously can be done with this side and that right there. You can chill with the turtle that's there. If you don't know that turtle, it's an amazing turtle. And that's why I like the Blink Dagger. Next thing we have Boots of Travel, and I like Boots of Travel. I'm just going to WTF mode, make things more efficient. The reason I like Boots of Travel is because if you're just worried about getting from place to place, Blink Dagger is fun, yeah, but Boots of Travel, that 100 base movement speed and the ability to warp wherever your creeps are, it's super helpful. Say you're playing more of a pusher, because your team has them on the ropes, you can just come down, push it real fast, and then just roll away after you finish your push. And like say I could start my push here, if it gets a little hairy I can just roll away, and then that thing would be cooling down the whole time, so by the time I get within a safe distance to warp somewhere else, I can check out runes, warp over to here. I have no cooldown right now because I was lazy, but it takes a minute for it to come back into being active. And by then you can usually do some decent damage on a tower, roll away, and then find a place that you want to warp to, or you can warp back there later. It's up to you. That's what's fun about the Boots of Travel. Now I'm going to show you Orb of Venom, and the Orb of Venom is just a really fun item. I love getting the Orb of Venom. It's one of my personal favorite items to get early game. I don't have it in this build because it's definitely not necessary, but it's just fun to get. Because if you're doing chase downs early game, it gives you a 12% melee slow and a 4% range slow. Range slow doesn't mean anything, the melee slow is where it's at. You just hit them in the back and you can just start taking them out. Because that 12% melee slow is stacked with your phase boots, 16% movement boost, and then the damage bonus it gives you early game. It just help you so much, because this also stacks poison damage to annoy them, so they can't like use uplink if they happen to get it or something like that. I think that's how it works, right? Yeah. So it also helps deny Blink Dagger pretty effectively, so if you have a team full of people that are blinking away from you, just get Poison Orbs, smack them once, and then you can chase them down a lot more efficiently. Like, a lot more efficiently. And then you can also stack stuns and stuff naturally. But yeah, that's why I like Poison Orb, Orb of Venom, and it's just so cheap. It's like a bargain, it's like a Steam sale. And then next we go to the Rod of Atos. I'm not going to bother buying this. I'm just going to say its benefits. The 350 health is great. The plus 25 intelligence doesn't mean too much. You can get this for helping chase downs, but you're already kind of a chase down hero, so it's kind of redundant to have this. But I know a lot of people like it because it only costs 50 mana, and it has a nice cripple. That 60% slow is pretty damn useful, and it's a duration of 4, so if you're chasing down full teams, you can get this. I don't usually get it, but it's an option, definitely. Desolator. Desolator is a fun item because of that armor reduction and the more damage. Now, you can get this over Black King's Bar if you want. If you're playing a hero where you just punch back into carries and stuff like that. If you're not too much of a carry yourself, I like getting Desolator over Monkey King's Bar. If the situation arises where I'd get a Monkey King's Bar over a Abyssal Blade. But the reason I like it is that you give them that 7 armor reduction, and then you just punch them straight back into your carries, and then your carries just eat them up because all of a sudden they take 7 armor out of the equation, and those percentages add up, people. You can tear people apart just by dropping 7 armor. Now we're on to the Dagon. Sorry, that's something with hope. Okay, now we move on to the Dagon. The Dagon is a fun item. If you don't know what the Dagon is, there's something wrong with you. By all means, you can get the Dagon. You can just zap people. If they have a squishy team, if they have a team full of mages, just go pow, pow, pow. Just zap everybody. Just pew, pew. Just zap all the people. You know what I mean? They just can't handle you when you have a Dagon. I'll just sell my Orb of Venom. Because this late in the game, you'd want to get rid of your Orb of Venom, definitely, because you can definitely get better item over top of it. But the Orb of Venom is an early game item that's fun to use. And then you get the Dagon, and you can just start leveling this from an early level. You don't have to wait late game to get it. You can replace, you can get the Heaven's Halberd, get a Dagon, or you can get a Black King's Bar, get a Dagon. You can pick and choose as you want. These items can pretty much fit in most spot, you can put them into the, I'd say as soon as you get to this point and down, you can start throwing these items in. This setup right here is pretty solid, but you can change and choose. The only thing I'd throw up there is the Blink Dagger, if you're really bad at initiating, or if you have trouble just with your Remnant control, but use your Blink Dagger a lot. And then Orb of Venom, you can get that as one of your starting items, just because it's so useful. And that gives you an excuse to use those extra 2 tango that you usually end up with if you play careful enough. And that'll, it just puts off when you can get your bottle, but hey, it's really useful and helps with early game takedowns, and that's especially useful if you play dire hard lane, or off lane as it's called now apparently. And I really like that, because when you're chasing down through these woods, just having a slow is really, really helpful. I don't know what it is about this side, but you get into so many chase downs in these woods. And having that early game slow just rocks. Dagon rocks because you can just roll in, magnetize, pull, push, Dagon, and then just drop your Remnant after you did all that again. Refresh your thing, roll out, refresh your thing, pull, push, refreshing your magnetize, Dagon again. Just be a dick with it. It's just a lot of fun to use and piss people off with, and you can also get kills like mad with the Dagon. And it just does so much damage. It's just so much fun. Boom. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful Dagon. Pretty much a lion hand. Now, we go into the Divine Rapier. Hey, why not? And that's all I gotta say about it. Mechanism. You can get this. Absolutely, you can get this. So you can get this over a Vanguard or something if you want to. If you want to play more of an assisty, by all means get a Mechanism. That plus 5 armor aura is pretty sweet. pretty, I mean, +2 armor aura is pretty sweet. Or, actually, what am I talking about? The armor aura is sweet. The aura that it gives off is just awesome. And that HP regen helps out a lot too. Now you can. That's why you can replace your Vanguard with it, because it does give you an HP regen aura, and that gives you some team heals, which is pretty sweet. And sorry about getting the aura mixed up. I looked up and I saw +2 aura. I'm like, wait a second. But yeah, that's just a fun item. Move on to Animal Courier. Like I said, my first video, team full of carries. Go ahead, get the Animal Courier. Go ahead. Why not? It doesn't affect you. It just moves back when you can get bottled a little bit. And say you're just going Arcane Boots, it doesn't even matter. You don't even need bottle. You can just go straight Arcane Boots then. And that's what I like about our Animal Courier. Scythe of this. Now this thing's fun because you just turn them into bacon, and then you can slap that bacon back into your carries who will devour that bacon pretty quickly. And that's pretty fun thing to watch. It also gives you mana regeneration and some more mana to start with, so that can help replace other items that you got earlier. Like, yeah. Like, at that point, Arcane Boots won't really be needed at all. I'd say usually by level 16, I don't really care about my mana as much anymore, because you just tend to have items that regenerate it anyway. So you don't really need to worry, or you just have such a large, like, initial pool that you don't need to worry about draining the pool of mana, because it usually never happens. So, by this point in the game, definitely transition from Phase Boots and Arcane Boots, like I said, into one of these. But that's off topic. We get on to Tranquil Boots. Tranquil Boots, hey, why not? Like, if it's past the point, and you're not really the damage dealer, you're not really playing as a carry, or like an initiator or something, well, you can use it if you haven't. You don't need it for an initiator, but if you're doing like a chase down dude, or like a carry or something like that, I'd stay away from Tranquil Boots. If you're playing more of a assisty role, or like a role where you can just hang back more, definitely Tranquil Boots, because 90 movement speed is pretty damn convenient. The +4 armor is very fun to have, and the HP regen, if you just stack that with all your other regens, you can just dance inside the enemy base for like dozens and dozens of minutes. I say dozens of minutes because the longest time I've ever spent in an enemy base is 30 minutes. And we got there, and I was the only one up there for half the time. That means I was solo fighting the whole team for half the time. And that's because I had so much HP regen stacked on top of me that I didn't care, and I could just stay there for hours. Mostly thanks to the Heart of Trask, but I did get the Tranquil Boots because I was the only one able to stay up there that long. And finally we get the Urn of Shadows. Hey, I'm not too much of a fan of it, but, you know, they do work. They definitely do work. Giving that, like, team heal is really convenient. This goes if you don't want to get the mechanism, because it's a lot cheaper than a mechanism. And it kind of does the same thing, just in a smaller radius of one person. So that's the only drawback, but you can cast it every 7 seconds. You can get a ton of charges if your team's wrecking. And that just helps you if you're having a trouble with your team not having enough regen capabilities. You can get an urn. And that's it for my build. If the videos are kind of choppy, I'm sorry for that. It's kind of late at night, and I don't exactly have the best editing software. So, oh, that's satisfying. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it educational. I used the word. I don't know. Interesting. That might be better. If you have any criticisms, feel free to give them to me. If you have any recommendations, I'll take them. I'll listen to them. If you like the build, feel free to use it. By all means, feel free to use it. I put it open to the public. I don't know how to make it even more open. I think I just published it and it should be fine. So yeah, have a good day, guys. Hope you liked the videos, and hope they are informative.